Hi everyone, this is the third attempt again of trying to do the video, so I hope I'm not going to sound too annoyed. So anyways, I'm trying to make a video today about Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolor set. So it's a review and it's sharing my experience with this palette and you know how I feel about it, and also will show you some sketches that I have done trying to just see how the watercolors work when you actually paint with them. So let's begin by showing you this beauty. So to begin with, the packaging is quite beautiful. It's very, let me just push everything out of the way. So it is it has that minimalist, chic, modern look to it, which makes it quite beautiful, and also something that you can actually give as a gift or have proudly sitting in your office, because it looks quite stunning. When you look at it, you wouldn't really say that, you wouldn't really straight away guess that these are watercolors. You would think possibly, I don't know, maybe there is a book inside, or some, I don't know, some artistic set of brushes or something like that. But anyways, once you open the lid, which is a beautiful sort of paper, like an olivey green textured paper with some Korean, I think, because they are meant to be Korean watercolors, Korean gold foiled. It probably says Kuretake Gansai Tambi on there, I would imagine, but I can't read Korean. So anyways, that's the lid. When you open it, it basically, on the inside of the lid, it has a sticker with a nice paper. It's I'm not sure what paper this is, but it's smooth. It doesn't have texture like a watercolor texture paper, but the swatches were actually quite nice. The watercolor was going on nicely onto this. So the way they have created this little swatch, what would you call it? Swatch list? Swatch page? I don't know. Is they are going 4 colors in a row like they are here in the palette. Now I will quickly explain to you that you don't really need to look at this, because this is quite confusing actually, but what you need to do is basically to look at the numbers, because here you don't get the names of the colors, you just get the numbers, and they come in the same order that they come in the palette. So you can see the 4 top colors and so on. So the other thing to say is that this is just useful for you to know the English name, because it has on here, but it is at the same time quite confusing, because for example, if you look at this scarlet red number 31, you would say that is not a scarlet red, because it looks kind of corally, salmony, kind of pale color. But actually, if you find it on here, number 31, that's the color in the pan, and that is color on the swatch. It is nothing like it is on here, so do not get confused by this. Just use it as for the names. So that's that. Not much to say. The other thing I will say quite quickly is that although it says here Japanese, oh sorry, it is actually Japanese. Why did I think it's Korean? I must have confused them with something else. Japanese traditional solid watercolors for professional artists and crafters, ideal for sketch, illustration, sumi, and more. So although they say for artists, I don't think that they are actually artist grade watercolor. because of certain things. Like although they're beautiful and very bright, I just couldn't get them to do what I would get from, for example, Daniel Smith or St. Petersburg White Nights palette, which are, both of them are professional, artist grade watercolors. I just couldn't get them to do the same thing. Having said that, they're still very beautiful and they have this vibrancy that not many watercolors would do. So for that reason, I love them. And let's carry on. So a lot of people also said for some reason that this palette doesn't come with a mixing palette, which isn't really true because it does. But I guess you probably wouldn't really think of this as a mixing palette, but it is this little cover that you can use to protect your watercolors when they're drying from dust settling on them, but also you can quite easily mix in them because it has 4 wells on here. The only thing is it's transparent, so it's quite difficult. You would have to use a white background, for example a sketchbook, that you can just lay it on and then see exactly what you're mixing. So okay, so you do get that, or otherwise you can just buy a separate mixing palette, and they're very cheap to buy, so you could do that. So that's this. What I also would say about number 95, which seems to be called silver, it doesn't, to me, it's more of if I show it to you, that's what the pans look like. They're bigger than the full pan that we know in Europe. Anyway, it sort of looks silverish in here, but more white than silver, I would say. And on the swatch it comes out pearlescent, and again more sort of like a white pearlescent. It's very beautiful. Just more of that color rather than silver. So if you look at this, I wouldn't really call this silver necessarily, but it is beautiful. So I have done also swatches in my swatch book, if I quickly find them again. So they're here. There we go. So Kuretake Gansai Tambi. So let me just take this out of. Oops, sorry. A bit clumsy today. So these are the swatches, and they are very bright, as you can see. Beautiful colors. I think orange and May green and possibly green, I would say, are the 3 colors that I would say have the quality of a artist grade watercolor. They're incredibly beautiful and they mix beautifully as well. So that's the May green, that's the orange, and that's the green. So, and have a look at the silver here as well. I don't know if you can pick out the pearlescent, but there has tiny little green and pink. Oops, sorry, I was looking at it and didn't realize how close I put it to the lens. So yeah, it's beautiful, but I'm not sure how silver this is. Okay, so these are the swatches. If I compare them quickly to my artist grade St. Petersburg, you can see that they really are similar in the brightness. But yeah. So the cornflower blue and the pale aqua were the colors that I thought they were quite unusual for watercolors, but unfortunately they seem to have a lot of white pigment in them because they're quite opaque and they don't have that watercolor transparency about them, so they don't flow as beautifully into other colors as artist grade watercolors would do that have transparency to them. Okay, so that's that. So I have, like I promised before, we have some few minutes left for me to show you some of the sketches I have done, some little paintings. So basically here I decided to do a very quick and basic rose sketch and see how the colors are mixing and what I can create. So these are the colors I have used, so a range of reds and pinks, yellows and 2 greens. They are nice for this particular style, but if you look into the reds and the pinks, they do not flow into each other as you would see a transparent watercolor do. Okay, so that's one. Let me just double check, have I done anything else? No, I think in this sketchbook I haven't. So this one, this little one, I have done a while ago. I think this was my first time when I received the palette, I think just after Christmas or New Year's, and then it was sitting there for about a month until I found time to try it out. But anyways, this was the first sketch and I decided to do something floral because, you know, using flowers you can mix the bright colors and see what you can come out. Here the purples and the pinks actually worked quite beautifully. So they do have this classic watercolor effect where they kind of dry and flow into each other. So I thought that was quite beautifully done. So here are again all the colors I have used, and then just to have a wide range of things, I thought I will experiment a little bit and try, let me zoom out a little bit, here we go, and try create some spring flowers and again see the contrast of the blues and the yellows. So here I have used a deep blue. If I show you this color quickly on the swatches, that's what it looks like. Deep blue, where is it? Here. That's deep blue, and that's what it looks like with loads of water. Here in the bits where it's quite dark, you can see that glossy finish. I thought it looks beautiful how it goes with water, how it moves and dries. The flower was quite basic, again just a couple of colors mixing in. So this is a mantle violet, which is right next to here, which is very, very intense color. But you can see if you are using it with water, you can get to a very pale color. So that's something I also was interested to see how it would work. And then finally the cobalt blue, which looks turquoise in the pan. But if you water it out, it's that sort of bright sky blue, I would say. But to me, cobalt blue still has to have a cool effect to it. So that's that. Here you can see a lot of gloss. I don't know if you can or not. I'll try to bring it up. Yeah, there we go. And finally I have just taken a lot of colors and done sort of like a swatch in a floral effect. And here are the colors. I haven't really mixed them apart from these colors here. What, it looks dark. So these colors is the colors that I have mixed. Other than that, these are pure colors as they come from the pan. So I hope this video was useful, and thanks for watching. See you soon.